Real quick before we jump into the video, guys, for the rest of this year I'm going to be on a fundraising campaign to raise a minimum of £1,000 for the Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. For more information on the charity and what it does, and for the donation links, please look in the description below. And thank you all for your continued support. Enjoy the show. What's going on, guys? Ribombees Teacher Nails, and we're back with the RBL week number 6. Your Royal Bomber for Ribombees are taking on the Portland Snail Blazers and coach Ben Zossam. This is a really challenging match. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but state of play of the league, we are currently sitting at 3-2. Ben is sitting at 4-1 and joined top of the league. Of course, we did beat the previous top of the league in Snail last week, so we did have a pretty good run against Snail. We actually could have 2-0'd him. I misplayed in game 1 on the last turn, but that's fine either way. But this time around, it's kind of interesting. Looking at the league, there are currently 3 teams sitting on 1 win and 4 losses. I believe Rotten and Hermes have to play each other. So just to let you guys know, we did have a quick change of schedule. In the last week, I'm going to be playing Hermes Game Corner instead of Rotten Tomato. So that's something. Also, in between last week and this week, I mentioned it at the end of last video, but I'll mention it here again. We did actually drop Haxorus from our team and replaced it with Sableye, which Ben actually dropped last week. So we picked it up because it's actually kind of good. And part of the reason I wanted it for this matchup is because Ben has a very potential potent Trick Room duo in Oranguru plus Glastria. Which is actually kind of scary. He hasn't had much of a tendency to bring the Glastria, from what I've seen of his matches. But I think a lot of that is his previous Trick Room option before he picked up Oranguru was Jellicent. And Jellicent, while it isn't a bad Trick Room option, it's actually slower than Oranguru naturally, and stuff like that. It's got great natural bulk, etc. It kind of has Mooslot syndrome, because you kind of want to run Scald, you want to run Will-O-Wisp, you might want to run Shadow Ball, you might want to run Taunt, you might want to run Strength Step. So, like, it has too many moves. Whereas Oranguru doesn't really have that problem. It's Trick Room, Nasty Plot, 2 attacks, or just Trick Room 3 attacks, something like that. Or it could be Trick Room Instruct, stuff like that. So, lots of different things Oranguru can do better than Jellicent, in my opinion. But outside of Trick Room, this team is no less scary, right? G-Max Rillaboom is very offensive, it's very hard-hitting. I'm not entirely sure I would ever max Rillaboom, personally. I've been running Rillaboom for a little bit in VGC on Showdown, and I never really feel compelled to max it, so not really sure it's the best G-Max in the world. It is a great Pokemon, though. It is one of the most powerful ones in the format. Incineroar, of course, Bromir Intimidator once again. Does get Fake Out, gets Parting Shot, Snarl, stuff like that. Will-O-Wisp as well. Could be very scary. Aerodactyl is fast. Not as fast as my Zeraora, but it is faster than my Weavile and my Cinderace and stuff like that. He could even run a Stray Scarf Aerodactyl if he wants to go down that route. However, the only ground move it gets is Earthquake, which is somewhat anti-synergy with Rillaboom, so not entirely sure. Could be a Tailwind support mon as well, but does hit incredibly hard. I expect it's probably Focus Sash if he brings it. Garchomp, I think, is a very good bring. Now, my plan this week does vary depending on what type of Garchomp he brings. He has had a tendency in the past to run Weakness Policy Garchomp with things like Ice Shard on the Piloswine to proc it, which I expect him to do. The downside, of course, to that play is Weavile outspeeds or has priority in Ice Shard itself, and also things like Zeraora naturally outspeeds it, so, and it has Play Rough, for example, so I can just max Starfall, blow it up. Ice Shard max Starfall will guarantee it killed most Garchomp forms. Primarina can be an issue. It's very good offensively with Specs, can also be Assault Vest, can also be like Sub-CM. Not a huge fan of Sub-CM in VGC, but it's a very scary mon in singles. It also gets a lot of coverage moves, so that is something I do need to bear in mind. Primarina may not have the best matchup against my team, though. I do have a Ferrothorn, which kind of walls it. I do also have things like Zeraora outspeeds and destroys it. A Shifu gets Poison Jab, for example, and outspeeds it. Narian Weezing can take a couple of hits and fire back some Sludge Bombs, etc. So, Primarina's got a bit of an awkward matchup, so I'm not entirely convinced it comes, but if it does, it's going to be something I definitely need to bear in mind and deal with. Machamp, not a fan of Machamp, if I'm honest. It's pretty slow, but it can be pretty good in Trick Room. Obviously, no guard sets are pretty scary, particularly like no guard dynamic punch. Can definitely do a number on me and gets priority. I believe it gets bullet punch, so I have to bear that in mind as well. Could be an interesting choice. Not entirely convinced it comes. Pteranodon, pretty physically bulky, very hard hitting on the special side, very frail on the special side, however. So that's something to bear in mind. Well, it could be a pretty good max target. It gets a lot of decent coverage moves, so that is something I definitely want to look for. And then Wigglytuff. It's a bulky fairy, but it really doesn't offer anything. Galarian Weezing kind of just murders it, so I don't think he has much of a reason to bring Wigglytuff. So if I had to predict the 6, he probably brings Rillaboom, Glastrier, and Incineroar almost certainly. Then afterwards, I'm not too sure. He could try to go to Trick Room out with Oranguru. I wouldn't be surprised. If he doesn't bring Glastrier or Oranguru, he probably goes Rillaboom, Incin, Aero, Garchomp, Piloswine, Primarina maybe? Something like that. So he's got a few little ways he can play this team. So I had to decide what I wanted to do here, because it can be a little tricky to decide. So let's take you through my team and what we're bringing this week. So we are bringing Sash Weavile this week, rocking the pressure as usual, running Surf, Poison Jab, Triple Axle, Knockoff now. If he does not bring Scarf Garchomp, this is actually very strong, because Weavile will outspeed everything except Aerodactyl. But I don't see Aerodactyl doing all that much. We are running Adamant because this gives us enough speed to outspeed a non-Scarf Garchomp, which is the fastest thing on this team I can outspeed, because I can't outspeed Aerodactyl anyway. So we're running Adamant because we want the as low special attack as possible, so we do very little damage to our own Colossal, of course, which is back. Our Weakness Policy Colossal set. Pretty similar set to what we destroyed Rotten Tomato with. Pretty much the identical set, just slightly different EVs, because I've ran this to outspeed a potential Scarf Garchomp if it does come. But yeah, it'll outspeed Aerodactyl, pretty much destroy it with a max Rockfall. Max Earth Power does actually a hell of a lot as well. We're running Heat Wave, of course, because it's our main fire stab. Solar Beam's there for Primarina. It doesn't actually OHKO an Assault Vested Primarina, even at +2 with Modest Max, because Primarina's got great special bulk. But after a bit of chip damage, I can still blow it back up anyway, so not too worried about it, but it is potentially scary. It's just something we have to bear in mind. Next up is, of course, our Urshifu. We're running Scarf again, just like we did last week, because this set actually played off pretty well before, but we're running slightly different moves this week. We're running Surgeon Strikes, Poison Jab, Ice Punch, Close Combat. This pretty much hits everything on his team. He doesn't really have anything that wants to switch into any of these, so I'm mostly going to be clicking Surgeon Strikes most of the time, most likely, as Surgeon Strikes doesn't care about Incin's Intimidate, for example. It's very likely he fakes me out if he brings Incin on this anyway, so that's something to bear in mind. But we're running Adamant because we didn't need the actual speed. We outspeed everything except Aerodactyl anyway, so not really too worried about that. But yeah, we hit very hard with this set. Next up is Weezing, running the Sugar Berry, of course neutralizing gas, running pretty standard set. Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, Protect, Sludge Bomb. We are fully Spadef, however. This gives us an opportunity to take a hit from Primarina a little better. Something is worth noting, I just messed up when I said I don't outspeed Aerodactyl. I am actually Adamant Scarf to outspeed the Aero, so don't mind me. But yeah, it says running Spadef. This allows me to take a hit or two from Primarina, which means that Sludge Bomb into Max Overgrowth always kills it, so that's something to bear in mind. It definitely hits pretty hard. Weezing is actually really nice in this matchup, because if I can get some taunts off, prevent the Oranguru from Trick Rooming. Now, it depends on what Oranguru set he brings, but I expect him to bring Min Speed. So, as you can see on the little graph here, there is a tiny little bit of speed investment on this. This means that I guarantee outspeed the Oranguru by 1 point out of Trick Room. This is actually important because I can taunt prevent him from Trick Rooming. And then I can just burn whatever his Trick Room option is, which is nearly always going to be Glastrier in this instance. So that's just something to bear in mind. I do need to be careful about Will-O-Wisp in the Machamp, should it come. That's something to consider, but yeah. Weezing kind of shuts down a lot of his team, so I'm definitely okay with this. Next up, of course, is Zeraora running the Assault Vest, so I can take hits from Primarina. We actually don't need a lot of speed, because the only thing we need to outspeed realistically is Aerodactyl, because I can't outspeed Scarf Garchomp regardless. So we're running it to outspeed Aerodactyl, guaranteed. We're running a special set this week, which could be a little risky, but I think this isn't a bad option. Fake Out is actually not that bad in this matchup because I can outspeed everything, basically. I can potentially fake out a Piloswine trying to ice shard the Garchomp and stuff like that. Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, and Snarl. Snarl is nice for Primarina, also against a Rangaroo, because Rangaroo itself can actually set up Trick Room Nasty Plot and kind of be a problem. But we are a Solver, so we do take these hits pretty well. Max Lightning's actually kind of very scary for Primarina. It doesn't really appreciate it at all. But yeah, it's a pretty specially offensive set this week, mostly because I had a lot of physical offense on this team. He's got a lot of physical as well, so he's not going to expect me to run a Special Zero Aura here. But we are hasty, which he actually minted into Timid, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, we are a Soul Vest. This gives us as much chance to live a Rangaroo at +2 or Primarina if Spax as possible. It's not guaranteed, but we do have a decent chunk of HP, so we should be able to live those things, and we are max special attack, so we'll see what we do back. And then last but by no means least is Hello Darkness, my old friend Sableye. Now, was once on his team, is now on my team facing him, running the leftovers fully Spadef. This can take a hit from Primarina unless it's Choice Specs, which could be pretty scary. But we are running the most obnoxious set I could think of. Taunt, Will-O-Wisp, Quash, and Recover. Quash is exceptionally annoying even for Trick Room setters because Quash means that you always move last regardless of priority order. So that's something to bear in mind. I debated running an ally switch on this just to be even more annoying, but I actually think these moves are actually better. Recover allows me to stall out some of his physical mons, particularly if I burn the Glastrier, for example. Even though I am Spadef, he does not kill me ever in 2 hits. And he can't, of course, max knuckle into Sableye because it's a ghost. So it's a pretty scary mon to deal with. It actually is problematic for his team because if you look at his team, aside from Primarina and potentially Duraludon, like, all of his offensive threats are physical, which means that he doesn't really have much of a good answer to Will-O-Wisp, so that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming to burn his team as much as possible. We're aiming to cripple him as hard as we can, and then if he does get Trick Room up, somehow, despite the fact I have Taunt on Weezing and on Sableye, if he does get the Trick Room up, then I can just quash whatever comes in, so it's a potential for us to run this set. I was potentially going to run baiting into Trick Room myself, but my Trick Room team versus his Trick Room team is not as good, so that's what we're rocking with. Gonna be a fun match. Ben, of course, is definitely a scary opponent, but let's see how we get on, so let's take you into the battle. We're back. Alright guys, we're connected up with Banzossin, and this will be a pretty interesting matchup. You can see the 6 we're bringing up there. Yeah, if you want to see the full sets, etc., go watch the breakdown at the start of the segment. You can see the 6 I think he's bringing over there. It's a little contentious. He could well bring the Trick Room option with Rangaroo last year, but it was difficult to figure out what he would replace this 6 with. I do think this is a pretty good 6 for him to bring, so we'll see. We'll see what he goes for. We're going for a pretty experimental team, so we'll see what happens. But either way, good luck, have fun to Ben. Definitely going to be a fun series to play, so let's see what happens. Alright, let's see what he bought for us. So he did go the Trick Room route. No Primarina, which I'm very happy to see that. Brings a Rangaroo Machamp, no Piloswine or Prima. Okay. So, lead-wise for him, I could definitely see, like, Rillaboom and Ensign. Kind of like the idea of just leading with Weezing and Sableye. I also don't mind the Weavile Colossal lead here. My only worry is if he's Choice Scarf Garchomp, but I don't really see how you can be Scarf Garchomp in a Trick Room comp. How do I want to play this? I do like leading a Shifu, for sure. Maybe a Shifu and Zeraora? Sableye is also quite good here as well, so we'll lead that. And then, let's see, who do we want in the back? We definitely want Zeraora in the back, and maybe Weezing. Alright, let's try this. So we got some time. Let's see. He didn't bring Pylo. He bought a Rangaroo. And he didn't bring Primarina. He bought Machamp. Alright, so he leads Arrow Garchomp, actually. Okay. So that's a little problematic. Although, actually, no, it's not. Because I'm Scarf Urshifu, not like he knows that. So what I can do here is Surgeon Strikes into the Arrow. And Will-O-Wisp the Garchomp. He actually protects, which is kind of ballsy because I am an Urshifu. So, not really sure what he was hoping for there. But now he's going to see we're Scarfed, so he's not going to appreciate this hit. This arrow is going to go down. Alright, so not a bad turn for us. I think he was going for Tailwind there. So, I made sure we didn't get that off. So, that was a good turn for us. So, we'll see what he goes for now. Because he's going to know that I'm Scarf. Yoda, what's that? Rillaboom. That's what I expected. Okay. So, who's the more annoying Pokemon for my team right now? Because I feel like he has no reason not to crit Grassy Glide here. So, I actually want to go into my Weezing. And I think Rillaboom getting burned is actually really nice. Because he can't fake out my Sableye. So that's what we'll go for. We'll save Urshifu because we can Ice Punch later. And Weezing comes out. And he switches Garchomp. So that's an interesting switch. Jokti, what's that? Insane. Okay, that's kind of what I expected. He does Grassy Glide into Weezing, which we're fine. And we unfortunately missed the Willow, which is really unlucky for us, but that's fine. So he has no reason not to fake out Incineroar here, in my opinion. I do want to protect my Weezing. We're going for the Willow again. Obviously, he could just go straight for my Sableye here, which would be a little annoying, because he does try to fake out, which doesn't matter. He does Grassy Glide into my Sableye. Yeah, that's what I expected. That did a lot. Get the burn, please. Oh my goodness, what is happening with Sableye today? Damn, talk about bad luck. Alright. Well, it's not the worst deal for us, right? I mean, the Grassy Glide still hurts, for sure. We can Sludge Bomb the Rillaboom here. It's like, how much is Sableye gonna do here? Because Urshifu just comes in afterwards, right? I also have Zeraora in the back that I can still max. I kind of just want to quash it. Switches instant out. Okay. Back into Garchomp. He is just going to keep Grassy Gliding, so he's going to knock out my Sableye. The lack of Will-O-Wisp there really sucked. That definitely wasn't fun for us, but we are going to get a Sludge Bomb off. Added huge damage. And we do get the poison. That's not bad. We'll take it. Would have preferred the burn, if I'm honest, but we take those. I don't know how much grassy terrain turns there are left. But I do want to go into my Zeraora, I think. Let's see. I think we protect Weezing here. Is it worth me maxing? I don't think so. I'm gonna fake out into Garchomp, I think. Because he probably maxes the Rillaboom here, right? Oh, wait, no. I think actually Sludge Bomb and Fake Out's probably my play. Yeah, that's what we'll go for, because, he actually switches the Rillaboom out. Okay, that's interesting. So he gets the Intimidate off. And he maxes the Garchomp. Okay. So I probably should have willowed the Garchomp here, but I live a Max Quake, so I'm not really that unhappy about this. It's a bit unfortunate that we faked out there, but it's fine. A tiny bit of chip. He does go for the Quake into, what, Weezing? Nah, into Zara. Okay. I don't mind that. Because now my Urshifu comes back in. We are going to hit a Sludge Bomb off. Can we poison the Incin? That would be pretty nice. We don't. That's unlucky. Alright. I'm not sure an Ice Punch kills the Garchomp, though. That's the only problem I have with this. Well, I know Surgeon Strikes will kill the Incin. I don't see a reason for him not to double into my Weezing here, though. But I do want to try and burn the Garchomp if we can. How many turns of grassy terrain is there left? Forget how to find out on this. This? No. Alright. What if I max here? Actually, maxing doesn't seem too bad. This might be a mistake, because now the Garchomp is faster. But he may have tried to fake out my Urshifu, so that's kind of why I went for this. Obviously, if he max Wormwinded into my Urshifu, then we got a problem, but yeah, figured as much. Little unfortunate, but that's fine. I don't know, maybe a -1 Hailstorm actually kills her, honestly. There's Yachi Berry as well, so that was a good bit of prep on his part. This is still gonna hurt, though. Not gonna appreciate this. The fact that, he actually lived it isn't bad, because if I get the burn off on him, he's really gonna start doing a lot less damage. We do connect at long last. So the burn on here isn't worth. He actually also has Will-O-Wisp. That's really cool. Good prep. I like this a lot. So he definitely went out of his way to cripple my Urshifu here. Alright. So he's gonna Wormwind again for sure. He has Rillaboom in the back. I could see him switching a Urshifu or Incin out here. So what's to stop me Sludge Bomb into Rapid Flow? I don't think there's anything really stopping me from doing this. It's a very, very tense game one. But we're learning a lot. So we know the Garchomp is Yachi Berry. So we definitely need to get a burn off on it. He Wormrins again. Not too surprised. It's definitely a range for Rillaboom now, though. Although Rillaboom can't actually necessarily beat me 1v1 here. We'll go for the Rapid Flow. How much does this do to Ensign? Nothing. Yikes. Yikes. We are going to get the Sludge Bomb off, though. No poison still. Parting shot into a Shifu, no doubt. Oh, wheezing, actually. Oh. Okay. I feel like you probably should have done that into a Shifu. Here comes the Yoda. So I don't think you can knock out both of my Pokemon here. I think he dies to another turn of poison, actually. Looking at that. Okay. So I feel like this Rillaboom does actually kill my Urshifu here, which is kind of the problem. I could just protect here. Do I win the 1v1 against Garchomp? Probably not. Although, if I Sludge Bomb into Hailstorm, maybe I can get a win back. Not sure. Okay. He actually protects the Garchomp, but that's fine. We get a Hailstorm off. Won't do a lot because we had, yeah, such heavily reduced stats. But that's fine. And we do Sludge Bomb, unfortunately into the Protect and not the Ensign. But that's fine. So our max is done now. But we're like heavily reduced attack. We're burned at -2, which isn't great. But maybe we can pull this back. It's tough, but maybe we can. Because now we're back faster again because we're Scarfed. I think we Protect here to be on the safe side. And Surgeon Strikes the Ensign. We're like minus a bajillion attack, so this isn't great, but this might still pick up a kill. Fake out. Ah, good play. Into Stomping Tantrum. Into my Urshifu. Well, we lived that. But the Hail plus Burn probably kills me. That's unfortunate. So I think we lose this one. But we got some pretty good intel. Alright. So Zeraora is not the Bring. That much we can ascertain here. Zeraora is definitely not the Bring. Garchomp's the biggest problem for me. Although he does have double Fake Out and this thing is burned. So I am going to Sludge Bomb the Ensign. Stomping Tantrum into my Sugar Berry. Does nothing, as you can see. That's especially bulky wheezing, by the way. We're actually faster than the Incineroar, which is nice. We don't kill, but we do get the poison, which is actually really good. He's Berry. Alright, that's unfortunate. I kind of hoped he wasn't Berry there, but I figured he may well have been. Flare Blitz. This probably kills me. Yeah. Oh, we actually lived, but the Hail's gonna kill us. That was a crit. Alright. Okay. Hail also stops, so we are gonna lose this one. But that's fine. So, Garchomp, Ensign, Rillaboom, Arrow. I don't think he brings the Arrow again, because he knows my Urshifu's Scarf now. We are gonna forfeit this one. No point letting Weezing go down for nothing. We're not gonna get any differential out of this anyway, so... Okay. So, some things to learn here. So he led Arrow, Garchomp first time round. I think he will definitely adapt that. Probably lead Ensign, Garchomp this time round. Zeraora is not the Bring. That much we know. We did get unlucky with Will-O-Wisps, so that is something else that we have to factor in here. I do like the Sableye lead. I really do. The question is, what do I pair with it? Weavile, maybe? I mean, he's Yachi Berry, right? So, we know he's Yachi Berry. So, what's to stop me leading Weavile plus Urshifu here? And, like, really force him to be careful. I guess he could lead the Ribombees in and double fake out. That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about here. So, let's try these 4, I think. I think that's probably my play. I don't think Zeraora is ever the bring. Colossal wins out of Trick Room. But the problem is, it's getting the time to set the Trick Room up. So I don't think I've got time to set it up. So we'll try this instead. Alright, Ben. Let's see what you got this time. Alright, what do you try this time, Ben? I don't think you have a reason too much to change, except not the arrow. Yaddle Shakti, that is Oranguru and Sin, actually. So he's going for Trick Room this time. Okay. Well, I have ways to beat this. Alright. So, I'm gonna knock off the Oranguru, I think. I mean, there's every chance he fake outs here. So, I think I actually max Darkness into the Oranguru and taunt. So that he can't get the Trick Room up. Because I feel like you fake out my Weavile here. I mean, he could just Flare Blitz, for sure. Or Parting Shot, but like, I feel like you just fake out. Which is why I went for this play. Yeah, he did. That's what I expected. So we're going to taunt the Oranguru so it doesn't get Trick Room up even if it does live this hit. I don't imagine you live this. Oh, you do. Okay, you're very bulky Oranguru. Good to know. But we actually got a pretty decent hit off here. The unfortunate thing is I don't have a fighting move, and he did go for the Trick Room. Okay. I mean, he could just switch out here. Do I predict that? And go for Hailstorm? I think the Hailstorm chip isn't bad either way. And then we... Oh, I can't taunt the Instant because it's a Dark type. What if I switch Sableye out here? Into Weezing. Is that too aggressive? Yeah, I feel like that's too aggressive. We taunt. I think we can actually just recover because he may go after my Sableye anyway. He does switch Yaddle out, so we did get the Hailstorm off. What into? Mace Windu, is that the Machamp? Yeah, okay. So I actually could have gone for the Will-O-Wisp there, but I don't want to risk this being Guts. That's huge damage. Okay. And Flare Blitz into Sableye or Weavile? Into Sableye, actually. Okay. I'm fine with it. You do get burned, but that doesn't matter. Interestingly, my Sableye is naturally faster than both of these mons. Okay. Not that it matters, because my Sableye actually has no attacking moves. So, he doesn't know that. But... Alright. So I definitely think we Hailstorm into this. And then quash the Machamp. Because I don't know what this Machamp wants to do. He actually switches Instant out this time. Okay. Into Rillaboom. Alright. I could have Hailstorm that slot. I almost did as well. But this isn't the worst for us. Because we're going to make sure this Machamp doesn't get its priority move off. He actually maxes Machamp, which is kind of interesting an interesting play. I've not seen this before. But I'm interested to see what he goes for here. Because we're going to take a big bite of his health out. We are going to quash him so that he doesn't get a priority move off. We're going to get the Hailstorm in. He could just max Knuckle kill my Weavile, to be honest. But he doesn't get the chance to, because we do actually unfortunately crit him. I think that crit does matter, which is a little unfortunate. But we did get some misses in the game 1, so I guess karma is a thing. But hey-ho. So now it depends what he wants to do here. Because my max should be over this turn, I think, because I had Darkness 2 Hailstorms, so... I mean, he has no reason not to just Grassy Glide into my Sableye here, and Flare Blitz into my Weavile. He has no reason not to do that. Yeah, here comes the Ensign, so kind of what I expected. So he has a Rangaroo last in the back. I mean, I could save Weavile here. The question is, what do I put in instead? I guess Weezing. The problem is I have a Shifu in the back, and that kind of makes this a little hard. The question is, because he could easily just kill both my Pokemon here. This may have been a bad play on my part. I should have Hailstormed into Rillaboom, I think. Okay, well, on the off chance that he doesn't try to burn me, we are going to switch out into Weezing and then try and burn the Rillaboom. We've been pretty unlucky with burns lately, but we'll give it a go. Fake out, that's fine. Grassy Glide into Sableye, probably, yeah. That's unfortunate. Okay. So, we're in a tough spot here. This Rillaboom is a real problem. But if I can get a burn on it, then I think we're fine. But it's getting the burn on it. Okay, unfortunately, our Sash is broken as well, which makes us a little more tricky. So we are going to try to burn it. And we are going for triple axle. This is probably a misplay, do not get me wrong, but if I get a burn on Rillaboom, my Urshifu should be able to live a hit. Which is kind of what I'm hoping for, because then I can just lock into Surgeon Strikes and win. That's what I'm aiming for. Whether I get it or not is going to be a different story. Grassy Glide into Weavile, I reckon. Yeah. We do take it, though. So we are going to get the triple axle off. 1, 2, 3 hits, 3 hits. Let's go! Oh, that's a huge turn for us. We take those. We take those. Okay. So I should have Sludge Bombed, but hey-ho. Parting Shot into Weavile, or Weezing, actually. That's fine. So we just got a really good turn here. We just got a really good turn here. Because we're faster than the Oranguru regardless. Triple Axle coming in clutch. I am A-okay with this. Because now my Urshifu comes in, clicks Surge and Strikes and win. So, we're actually in a good spot now. So Ensign's going to come out and lower my attack, but I don't think that's going to be enough. So I am going to taunt the Oranguru just in case my knockoff doesn't kill it. Fake out into Weavile. Okay. So we are going to taunt so that he doesn't get a Trick Room off. Because I really don't want that Trick Room coming up. Because he did try to go for it. I figured he would. Alright. But that's fine for us. So, we know Triple Axel Oko's the Rillaboom if we connect all 3 times. So, that's huge news for us. That means a Max Hailstorm probably Oko's it, to be honest. So, we hit the Sludge Bomb into the Ensign and knock off the Oranguru. I mean, I could also knock off Ensign here. I don't know what this Oranguru does with other than Trick Room. I assume it has like Trick Room, Nasty Plot, Psychics, coverage move. But it doesn't matter, it's dead anyway. He's Wiki Berry as well, so that's pretty interesting. The fact that we're faster outside of Trick Room isn't bad. We do get the poison, which is nice. Not gonna matter too much. Flare Blitz into Weavile, expect. Yep, that's fine, because we have a Shifu in the back. So we're not bothered about that at all. But yeah, so this is a pretty interesting situation now, because now it's like, okay, how does he respond to this play? Because Oranguru clearly didn't work. So he's probably going to go back to his game 1 strategy, because now he's going to see I have a Shifu. So he's not going to like this. So he's probably going to quit this game, because he knows Surging Strikes is just going to knock him out. So we Sludge Bomb and Surging Strikes just to pick up the win. He is actually just going to let me take out the Ensign. I appreciate that. What? That does actually proc his berry. Hold on. Hold up. Does he live this? I don't think you do. Yeah, this plus Sludge Bomb you definitely don't live, so he didn't even just live that, so nice. Alright, so we take game 2, so we're going to a game 3. What an epic series this has been. Great games, man. I love this series so far. What a show we're putting on. That's what I like to see. So, yeah, definitely Zeraora is a trap. We are going to keep playing. Alright. So, game number 3, the deciding match. Okay. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So... Alright. So, Trick Room doesn't work for him, so he knows that. So he's not going to bring Oranguru again. Definitely having Sableye as a lead is a priority here. The question is, what else do I lead? He could lead the Arrow, which could be a problem. In fact, Arrow's a pretty big issue. Okay. And then Weavile, Weezing. Does this work? I'm not sure this works. We're gonna try it. I don't think this is the play. I think I probably should do the same as last time. Wait, we've got some time. So, game 1, he led Aerodactyl Garchomp. We O-code his Aerodactyl. And he protected turn 1. He won't do that again because he can't protect in front of a Shifu. What? I think he probably leads Rillaboom Ensign. So that might be an issue. I definitely want a Shifu in the back, actually. We'll do it that way. We'll do the same as we did last time, because I think that was definitely the better play. Let's see what he goes for. I think I messed up game 1 by maxing a Shifu. I think that was my mistake. But we'll see. Yaddle, Mace Windu. Oh. Okay. Is he just gonna max Knuckle into my Weavile? Either way, I'm taunting this Oranguru because I don't want this thing doing anything. And yeah, I think I just maxed Darkness into the Oranguru slot. Because we know we do a lot to this thing. Switches our anger out into Ensign. Yeah. Should have Hellstormed on my champ. That's fine. I wonder if he maxes. He should. But I wonder if he maxes. The thing is, I can't burn the Machamp either because the Machamp is like such a risk. I could also max Geyser here. He does max Machamp. Okay. I mean, my Shifu should knock it out once the max is over. So, I don't think this is terrible, but this isn't good for us, for sure. He has Oranguru in the back, and probably Rillaboom. So we can't, unfortunately, taunt the Ensign because it's a Dark type, but we are going to Darkness. We'll get a hit off. Doesn't do too much, but that's fine. I guess he knocks. Is that what he went for? Yeah. Down to my Sash, which means Fake Out's gonna kill me next turn. Little unfortunate. We lost our max really early, and we didn't play it as well. Is he Guts? Is he Guts? If he's Guts, this is such a problem. I'm gonna save my Sableye, though. We'll go for the Hellstorm on the off chance he doesn't Fake Out, but he should Fake Out. This is an unfortunate game. I think we screwed this up. I should have let her Shifu after all that, by the looks of it. Oh! I almost Hailstormed that slot. Wow. Okay. Well, this changes things a little bit. Quake into my Whizzing. Alright. We should take this. We have +1. We should take this. It's not stab either. Is that a crit? That was a crit, right? That crit mattered so much. That's really unfortunate. There's been a lot of hacks this match as well. Like, lots of poisons and stuff like that. That's really unfortunate, because now the Grassy Glide kills my Weavile. That sucks, don't get me wrong, that definitely sucks. But I don't think this is lost just yet. Because if I can get a burn on this Rillaboom, then I think we're okay. So we're just gonna have to try as hard as we can to find a way back, because he has Incineroar in the back. So once Rillaboom's gone, I think we're fine. I think he switches the Rillaboom out, because he's been doing this a lot. I really don't want to risk the Guts boost. Because I don't know what Machamp's moves are. That's my biggest worry here. I don't think I can afford to worry about it anymore, though. I think we just have to go for damage now. I don't think we have a choice. Yeah, he does switch. That's what I expected. Into the Ensign again. I have to risk it being Guts now. This is such an unnecessary calculated risk, but I have to risk it. Because, if he's no god and he's like dynamic punch, this is actually a good play, but we'll see. Oh, I'm gonna get some damage off on the ensign. And he knuckles again. Oh, this is gonna be a tough game, guys. This is gonna be a really tough game. Not unwinnable, but a very tough game. Alright. I just have to hope this is a no-guard Machamp. That's all I have. That's all I can hope for at this point. I am going to Surgeon Strikes into it regardless, but still. Man. He played around my Weavile really well. So, you know, full props to him. I deserve to lose this game because I didn't play this too well. What do I do here? I feel like this Machamp's offensive regardless. I'm gonna quash it. And Surgeon Strikes and Sin. He probably fakes me out. Yeah. There's a +2 max me, well, +2 hit kill me here. Probably, right? Close combat. He was guts. He was guts. GG's, Ben. Great game, dude. Well played, man. We unfortunately take our first loss, but I'm really not surprised at that. The Corona Wheezing definitely lost me the game there. But that's Pokemon. That's Pokemon. You know, that's just the way we go. Unfortunately, Darkness didn't get his reunion that he wanted. But you know what? That's just the game we played, dude. Great games to Ben. What a fantastic series. Definitely a very fun series to play. But that's the way we play. I think this was a really, really fun game. He definitely brought kind of what I expected. But yeah, it is what it is. Good games, Ben. Very fun series, dude. Appreciate the match. Was hella worth it. I'm just going to say GG's to him in the chat. Great series, man. But either way, that is going to be our first loss of the season. We are going to be 3-3, which isn't ideal, but isn't terrible. He just said so much hacks in the chat. Yeah, I know, right? That crit on my Weezing lost me the game. But that's Pokemon. But that's the way we play. But great games, Ben. What a phenomenal series. Definitely a phenomenal player. I'll have his YouTube channel along with all the other players in the league's channels down in the description. I highly encourage you to go watch his side of the battle. Definitely very interesting series. I can't wait to watch his side as well. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Ribombees Teacher. I'm your coach of the Royal Bournemouth Ribombees. Stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.